In this episode, I'm going to talk about batch filming and how to create so much content that you can launch your channel just by being prepared in this simple way. This episode could also be called how to launch your YouTube channel, what you need to get started to enable you to launch and have a good plan, a solid plan for the next 3 months. I want you to know that one of the biggest things that stops people is perfectionism. It's perfectionism with planning, it's perfectionism with filming, it's perfectionism with editing. So really in this episode, if we talk about batch filming and I tell you the process, and I've got 6 points here to talk about with the process, I want you to take this as inspiration to listen to this episode and then go and actually take some action and do the thing. Because the only thing that's stopping you being a YouTuber right now is the fact that you're not creating content and you're not publishing content. There is nothing else. You don't need anything else. There's not any particular techie thing that's stopping you. There's not anything to do with who you are and how you speak. As long as you can stand or sit and you can talk for a period of time about your expertise, then you are good to go. And for most people, if they went to a networking event, they might be nervous about it. They might not be great with public speaking, that kind of thing, but they would be able to go and talk about their expertise if they had to. If you as an employee and your boss said to you, you've got to do a 10-minute presentation about this specific topic that they knew you were good at, you would just do it and crack on with it. But when we're on our own as business owners, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we feel like there's no one to tell us that we've got to go and do that, so we just don't do it. So I'm giving you permission now to make sure you go and do it. All right. Now, these are the 6 things that I wrote down in a rush to tell you that you need to do. There's probably more than this 6, but I'm just going to go with these 6 things to start with. And don't forget, if this is your first time listening to YouTube Success Podcast, head over to youtubecommunity.co.uk where there's a free community. You can come and join that community and get involved in talking about the episodes. We'll publish the show notes. The show notes are on YouTube Success Podcast, which is probably where you found us. But that community is great for everybody because you can get involved. And if you do take action, come into the community and let us know about it. Let me know that you've taken inspiration from this and actually done the thing. So the first step in really launching your channel and doing batch filming is to plan the first 10 to 12 videos. So when you're getting started, think about your expertise, whatever you've decided is the thing that you're going to share, the thing you're going to talk about, and think about the questions that people ask you the most. We don't need to worry about creating the best videos yet, the best things to put out on YouTube. What we need to think about is content that we're comfortable with talking about, content that we could share that would help us in our business. So if you've got people asking you questions all the time, then being able to send a video on YouTube to them is going to help them and help you because you don't have to explain the same thing over and over again. You can always update it. If things change in those 10, 12 videos, you can update it later on. It's no problem. So think about that. And what I ask people to do is think about maybe 20 different topics. So I say, think about the 10, 12 questions, but actually think about 20 questions where you could talk about the answer to that question in 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes maybe. That's it really. You don't need to be talking about it for 20 minutes. You don't need to go into detail. Just think of a 5 to 10 minute answer to the question. What you will do when you come up with those 10 to 12 videos, 20 topics, you're going to eliminate some of them. Some of them might really be similar, that kind of thing. Or maybe you just film those later on. But when you've got the 10 to 12, then you want to create I use a post-it note. If you were on YouTube watching this, I've got a post-it note here with my points. I put the title at the top and then I put 3 to 5 bullet points about the particular video that I'm talking about. That's it. That's simple. Because then what I'm going to do is just wax lyrical about that topic. I don't need to plan any more than that. I'm not going to script it. Some people like scripts, and that's fine if you're one of those people. I know somebody that used to be an actress. I think we just say actor these days, don't we? She used to be an actor, and she said that she preferred scripts because that's what she was used to. So every time she did something, she scripted the whole thing out and away she went. But for me, I don't like scripts. I feel like when I'm reading, I'm wooden. I just prefer to wax lyrical. So you can make the choice which one's good for you. Then what I want you to do, point number 2, is I want you to take the video, one of the topics, and as you're batch filming as many as you can, I want you to film them without stopping. one of the difficult things we do when we're going through perfectionism during the filming process is that we can start it and we can make a mistake and then we stop again and then we have to start from the start. But I want you to know that during the editing process, you can fix that stuff later on. So point number 3 to go along with that is when you make mistakes, you've just got to pause. You just got to stop for a second, take a deep breath, and then go again. That's it. That's all you've got to do. But the camera's still rolling, and when you are in the editing suite later on, you're going to go and take a look at the edit, you're going to go through the video, and you're going to find the mistake where it happened and just cut it out. And if you use something like Descript, the link is in the comments for Descript in the show notes. Not in the comments, in the show notes. Still think I'm doing Facebook Lives. You can edit it like a Word document. So that really helps you with those mistakes. There's plenty of other things people do. They will clap if they make a mistake so they can see the high wave, the line on the waveform. You know, when you clap, it puts a big jump in the audio so you can jump to it. But really just having a pause is just as good, because the pause will appear as like an empty space of no sound, and that's usually a good indication that you've got to go and edit at that point. Then, as I mentioned, point number 4 is to use Descript to edit. So Descript will, once you drop it into Descript, well, actually, if you're filming like I'm filming now, I'm filming in Ecamm actually, but you could film directly into Descript. What that will do then is once you drop the file into Descript, it will say, do you want to transcribe the file? That will then give you a transcription, which you can then edit it like a Word document. You can remove filler words. So all your, I'm not even going to say them because I know it will appear in my transcript. But all your filler words, and if you don't know what filler words are, you'll find out once you go to Descript. And then you can also do, oh man, just had a notification. I might just leave this in just to let you know what happens when... Here's another tip when you're filming, is to close all your notifications. On my Mac, actually, I can set it to focus mode. So I go into my Mac settings, I say focus mode for 1 hour, and that turns all my notifications off. The only notification I get is my WhatsApp notifications if one of my family needs me, because they are on focus mode. They prioritize above focus mode. It's a slight extra little bonus tip for you, is to put yourself on focus mode so all your notifications don't come through. Then once you've edited it in Descript, and look, it doesn't have to be perfect in Descript. Don't think that you need to edit it and it needs to be beautiful and all the jump cuts and stuff need to be exactly right. It just has to be good enough. And you know, when I used to run a video production company, I didn't like the words good enough, because good enough meant that we'd not done something to a certain level, and I always wanted to publish stuff, the corporate videos and stuff that we filmed, to a really good quality level. But actually, when we're doing it for ourselves and when we're just getting started, good enough is okay. The way I talk about it with my team is I say, if we're at 95%, that I think is good enough. So you might find in the captions for this video, or if you're looking at the transcript in the show notes, like some of the words might not be correct, and that's just okay. Really, people are not going to jump around and tell you about it unless it's a bit of a weird caption that it's saying. And I actually know somebody that purposely makes mistakes in their videos in order for people to come and comment on those mistakes, because people will, because they love their own ego and they like to point out when you've done something wrong, which is why I love leaving bloopers in my videos. So then number 5 is that you've got to publish it. Okay, you've filmed it, you've edited it, you've got it all sorted, you need to publish it. Now, just one caveat to that is, what I want you to do is film as many as you can. And when we're talking about batch filming, that means as many as you can. So I said, like, get your 10 to 12 topics, because that's 3 months worth of content. Actually, 13 weeks is, or 13 videos is 3 months worth of content. It might be that when you get started that you can only film like 4 at a time, and you just run out of energy, you run out of steam or whatever, you need to come down and do them later on. That's okay. You might be able to film them all at the same time, and you might go immediately to start editing them. For me, I prefer to just split all of that stuff up. So I'll think about filming it in one go, do the batch filming, and then I'll wait a day or so to go and edit it. And then I'll put all the videos in, I'll organise them all in my Descript and start editing them, and then I'll edit as many as I can in that go. So that's the kind of the batch process there, is film as many as you can, 10 to 12, 13, but as many as you can. Then when you get to the point, go and edit as many as you can, And then we want to get at least 6, if not sort of 10, ready before you publish the first one. So even though my point 5 is publish, I don't want you to film, edit the first one, and then publish that straight away. I want you to build a bank of content. The only time that will change is if you're in my membership or in one of my programs, when I might tell you just get a video published. But I think if you're really serious about this thing, I want you to get a good bank of content created ahead of time, and then we're going to publish later on. Okay? And we're going, point number 6 is we're going for 1 per week. So I've talked about 13 weeks being 3 months of content. We're going for 1 video per week. So that means if you came up to 10, 12, 20 ideas on the piece of paper, you're going to get to 13 and you've got those 3 months of content. That doesn't mean you have to publish them in that 13-week order. You can, if something happens, I'm thinking of like hot topics, newsworthy content that you think, I just want to create a video about this because it's perfect for my business, perfect for my audience. I'm going to film that today. I'm going to edit it today. I'm going to get it out there today. You can do that as well. But if you've got that base of 13 videos, and you continue to do batch filming that way, so you're always, you don't want to get to video 13 before you start batch filming again. You want to get to sort of video 5 or 6 at the very latest, maybe even 4. I would suggest after the first month of publishing, you're going to want to start the next batch filming process, because then you've always got that base of content that you can publish and get out there. Okay, so I'm going to just recap that. Plan your 10 to 12 videos. See if you can get up to 20 topics, but look for the 10 to 12 that you really want to do. Film them and don't stop. Don't stop. Let that video just keep going. Fix the mistakes and the errors in the edit. If you make a mistake, pause. Use Descript to edit it, because it's super simple a piece of software. Might look a little bit complicated when you first get started, but I promise you, if you learn that, if you get to grips with that, it'll be great for content repurposing, which we'll talk about in a different episode. Don't forget to get the videos out there and publish them. We must actually launch the channel and get them out there. And of course, stick to 1 video per week. That's a great strategy for the start that will keep the content rolling. All right. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to join the YouTube community, youtubecommunity.co.uk. My name is Matt Hughes, King of Video. Thanks so much for your time and attention. If you liked this episode, don't forget to share it, like it, go over to YouTube and give it a comment on there, and check out the show notes for any links to stuff that I've talked about in the episode. All right, take care. See you next time. Or maybe you'll hear me next time. Bye-bye.